Hi, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to do a stitch. Whenever you guys ask me to teach you a new stitch, I always go to my favorite thing in the world, and it's this book. Every time I reread this book, I find something different to play around with and tweak the design a little bit. And this book I've read cover to cover multiple times, and then every time I reread it, I find something different that I fall in love with. Or I remember, oh my gosh, I did that bracelet years and years ago and I loved it. So that's the one we'll be doing today. And it is called the Ogalala Butterfly Bracelet. And it is absolutely stunning. And see, even in here, he says, don't worry about the shape of it. It takes care of itself. So that's what you have to remember. Let go. And this is freeform. This is what you want. You want all this fluff. This is what it looks like. And it's so beautiful. Traditionally, it's used with one color or two color seed beads. I went with 4. And you just have to remember A, B, C, and D. That way you can keep track of what you just did and where you're going into next. A clasp of your choice, and then a little stop bead. You will need a lot of thread. This one took 3.5 yards of thread. And you use whatever you're comfortable with, and you can add in your thread, you know, as you go along. But I suggest, if you can work with that much thread, do it, because this is one of those stitches where it is really hard to put knots in without, you know, having it buckle in places. So you have to be comfortable with knowing this is not going to be uniform. This is how it looks. This is what it looks like on. Extremely unique and fun and just beautiful. I mean, I can't say enough good things about this stitch. Definitely a fun one. But since it is time consuming, nothing difficult, just a little time consuming, I'm gonna show you on just a little sample piece, and then I'll help you finish the ends. So we're gonna start. I have a size 11 beading needle also, and scissors or a thread burner. I'm starting on just a practice piece right here of thread. And I'm gonna pick up the stop bead and I'm gonna slide it down. I'm gonna leave about an 8 to 10 inch tail, excuse me. And then my working thread is here and my tail's down here. I'm just gonna go right back around and attach that stop bead on there. I'm just anchoring it in there. Okay, now we're ready to pick up our first color. So color A. And now all we're gonna do is pick up enough beads to encircle our wrists in groups of 3. So this is exactly how I do it. I'll go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so I don't forget. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, etc., all the way down until you have reached your desired length. Keep in mind, this obviously is going to shrink, so make your bracelet a little bit bigger, and I suggest going about, I went a 1/2 inch bigger to make a 6 3/4 inch bracelet. So, you know I'm terrible with measuring, and I'm sorry I can't give you more information on that. Yeah, that's the hardest part for me, is measuring. And it's not that I don't know how. I don't know what's wrong with me. I just pop it on. If it fits, I say, okay, I'm going with it. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, all the way down. Nothing difficult. I just want to get it a little longer so I can show you, because once it starts spiraling, it gets a little bit out of control. So I want to make sure I have enough space to show you. All right, so once you get to the end, pretend you're at the end. So this is how I would measure. I would pull, let's see, here's just another version. So I pulled I strung on enough beads for a 7-inch bracelet. So I went to 7.5 to get a 7-inch bracelet. And I hope that helps you even just a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to turn the work just to show you. Here's the stop bead, and here's where we just ended. We're going to pick up 1A and just go right back through that very last bead we strung on and go down, pull. And if it's loose, pull on that stop bead and that working thread. And we're ready to begin the next pattern. I'm going to go down a little bit for you. So color B, we're going to pick up 3. All we're going to do is skip, and I'm way over, I'm sorry. We're going to skip 1, 2, and go into the 3rd bead. So 1, 2, into that 3rd bead. And if you want to look at it like, just to make sure you're doing it right, there should be 2 beads inside of that loop that's right there, the group of beads that we just put on. So it's 3, skip 2, go into that next bead, the 3rd one. Pull. Don't worry if it's getting loose. Don't stress. Let it go in whatever direction it wants to go. So you have to just hold it and let go. 1, 2, into the 3rd. 1, 2, 3. Skip 2 and go into the 3rd. All right, and it's getting a little too loose, so I'm going to pull down on that stop bead and see how it's starting to twist a little? Go with it. Turn your beadwork, do what you have to do, and just go with that twist. And I know that's going to be hard for some people. You know who I'm talking about. A lot of you like things very uniform and very straight. And this is not one of those bracelets, but it absolutely is so worth it. I'm laughing right now because I know exactly who's gonna give me a hard time, and she's pretty amazing. She's hysterical, actually. But this can be modified in several different ways. So once you get this stitch down, later on in the future, I'll come back and show you how to do something different with the same exact stitch, but flatten it more and add some bling to it. But I will be working on that in the future because these are hard to set up, because I don't want to make you watch me do an entire 7.5 inches of these very simple steps to get something really cool. So pick up 2, skip 2, pick up 3, skip 2, go into the 3rd, excuse me. All right, that's all you're gonna do all the way down. And I'm sorry, I'm working in turtle mode today. It is only 6 in the morning and I had coffee. I'm just still extremely tired. All right, so we're creeping up on the end. I'm glad I made it this size though, so you could actually see when the twist starts to happen. Like I said, everything goes a little crazy, so. But this is not the most funnest thing to watch, I know. And make sure you pull snug, but not overly tight. Just pop them in there. And see how relaxed I'm keeping my hand when normally you know I am extremely high tension. My tension is too much at times because I can hardly get into my work. So this one, just relax your hand and let the beads go wherever they're gonna go. It's getting a little loose right now, but don't worry, I'll show you a trick in 1 second. Here we go with the last stitch. So 3, skip skip 2 and go into that third, and you will have 2 left over. That's just what you want. So see how loose it is? Take both ends, twist, and pull down. Slide that stop bead back down to the work, and there you go. See what it looks like, how it's all twisty now? That's exactly what you want. Now I'm going to show you how to turn. Just ignore that stop bead and continue through these 2 A's on the end, just like this. And then we're just going to turn right back into this 11. So we're just skipping this one, the very last one, and going right back into the 11, the color A's. So 2 color A's. I'm just showing you where to step up. And then I'm sure you've heard me say this a bunch of times. We're going to step out the middle or the second bead of color B right here. And that's all you have to do to make a turn. Here we go with the next run. So we're going to pick up C. We're going to start with, this will be the pattern, 5. We're going to pick up 5. And now we're going to go into the second, right here, or the middle bead of that next group. And again, relax your hands. Let it fall. Let it do what it's going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down. So 5 into that middle or second bead. And I can see it sticking up. And then give it a good pull. And keep going. And I wanted to do this with you so that you could see what's happening and not leave you on your own and have you say, what in the world is going on? Because when I first learned the stitch, I was like, what's happening? Why is it flipping and flopping? It's supposed to, and you really want it to. You really want those ruffles to show and be beautiful. 5 into the next middle group, and you'll run all the way down doing that. I'm going to try to pick up the pace a little bit here. I am a little slow this morning. Oh my goodness. So funny. I always go back to that book. That was the first book I ever received. And I always go back to it. And I remember when I first read it, I said, I don't know what in the world this is. I don't know how to read this. I don't know how to do this. It was very complicated to me. This is going back maybe 18, 19 years ago. And I didn't like it at first. And then I kept picking it up. It was just intriguing to me. But I loved the stories, and I loved all that kind of stuff in it too. And once I learned how it's supposed to look, took my time, played with the pattern, then I fell in love with that. That's absolutely a book I will have forever. It's just one of those go-to books. If I'm lost for inspiration, I go to the master there, and I love playing around with the designs and just having fun. All right, so see how I'm just relaxed, letting everything fall where it is, but I'm still keeping a nice tight tension. Not too tight, but see how I'm pulling like this? That's all. And keep going until the very end. And if it starts to give you trouble, just force it to where you want it to be. It's not a problem. So just know you have to pick up the middle of every color B. All right, and we're getting ready for another turn and another new set. Into the middle there. Here's our very last one. Right into the middle. And then we're going to continue through this B A, and see how that's turned like that? That's where we're going to turn. So go through this 11 on the very end and just right back down into the work. Sorry, I'm flipping and flopping. I'm going to actually pull down just a little bit. See how I can see slack there? I don't want that. So just turn, go back into the A, the 2 B's, and now up through to exit that 3rd C. And if you know netting, that's what it is. And now I'm going to pull down on that stop bead and see how you're getting that natural, beautiful twist. And like I said, you can stop after this next row. This is what it's going to look like if you stop after the next row we put in. And usually that's how you end it. But I, like I said, wanted it a little bit fuller. See the difference? So this next step is 7, and then this one is 9. So it's completely up to you. If you want to, if you've had enough and you want to stop, you can stop right there and wait, and I'll show you how to attach the button. Or you can go to 9 if you would like. So here we are. I'm stepping out of that 1, 2, 3rd bead from that 5 bead group of C. And now I'm ready for color D. We're going to pick up 7. Jump right into the middle of that next group and pull. So 7 into the middle, or the 3rd bead, whatever you want to refer to it as. And then right into the middle. And I really want this to curl, so I just kind of will twist it a little. Make sure you're not skipping any rows though. Just take your time. Right into that middle bead. And you can count 1, 2, 3, or you can see it actually poking up right there. So you know that's where you need to go. And I will put the pattern down. So it's 3, 5, 7, and then I'm gonna do a round of 9, but you do not have to do that because I know, see how it's curling and going crazy? I know it might get a little stressful if you're a beginner, but it's completely up to you if you want a fuller looking bracelet or necklace. This would be actually a gorgeous necklace. Oh my goodness. Please send me photos if you do a necklace. I wish I had more time to play around, but I've got to always keep things moving, keep going and keep things interesting. But I got a lot of tricks and tips up my sleeve still, so don't worry about that. Okay. See how simple it is? It's just one of those, that's why I get quiet. It's just very, very repetitive and relaxing. Just remember 7. And then if you lose your space, go 1, 2, 3. That's the bead I'm going to pick up right there. And just let it go. Let it fall where it's going to fall. Don't let that stop bead get in your way. We're almost done. Okay. And that's it. And like I said, a lot of people stop after 7 because it gets too roughly, but I like it. Definitely draws a lot of attention. It's just one of those unique pieces. All right, now we're really gonna start flipping and flopping here. And just go with it, go with whatever direction. And stay relaxed. There's nothing stressful. It's just picking up 7 and going into that middle. All right, so we're almost there, and then I'll show you how to turn one last time. Okay, here's our last stitch right here, and we're going to weave down through all these beads now, these C's, the 2 C's, the 2 B's, the 2 A's, and that last third A right there on the end. And we're going to use that and pull down on both threads really hard. All right, we're going to use that last bead again to turn. So we're just going to go and skip that last bead and go right back into the work. And I pulled a little too hard. I won't be able to get my needle in there. And then run right back up through all these beads. Be careful you do not slip. I'm going to take my time here. And pull. And now we know we need to step out of the middle of this group, which would be bead number 4 of that group of 7. And here's the part where I said, if you want to stop, just go ahead and stop, and then we'll come back and do the button in a minute. And now I'm going right back to my color A. And that's how I'm going to finish it. So all it is we're going to pick up 9, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to find that middle bead right there, and I'm going to go right through that. And then I want this to just start going a little crazier. So see how I just pulled it down? I'm going to pick up 9 more. Find that middle and go right through there. Pull. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Find that middle and we'll continue. And that's what you would do all the way down. And see how I want this to spiral a little more? I'm going to mess it up a little bit. Let it twist just like this. And I'm going to do, I'll show you one more time actually. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And find that middle and just go right in there. And see how it's just automatically going a little crazy on its own. That's what you want. All right, so I'm going to move to 1 in progress. So that way we'll have time to finish the clasp and everything. So I'm all done with all these beads. Now, I must apologize. I truly do not know where any of these came from. They're all leftovers. So I'll do my best to try to find the colorway. I do know the colors for 2 out of the 4. But other than that, this one I've had forever. And I think I know the name of this one. So I'll do my very best. But I hope you guys come up with some really fun colors. So we're going to start where we, right here, where I have, let's see, 1, 2, I have 3 or 4 stitches left. So I'll work those with you using the 9. All right, I want to make sure I don't miss a step. I'm going to go right through that middle bead, pull, pick up 9, and now see how it starts twisting? Don't get lost. Just go right back and find that middle bead right there. right there. And then 9 more. I only have 2 more left. So I know I'm going to go right in the middle of this set. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So pull that one up, go right into that middle bead, and there we go. And that's what you want. And then you can really play around with it, mess it up, pull down on that stop bead, pull down on the working thread, and there you go. Let's attach this beautiful button. And all it is we're stepping out right where we need to be. I'm going to keep it very short because let's see where I'm at right now. I am at 7 inches, which is where I want to be. So I'm going to keep it as tight as possible. I don't want it any larger than that. So I'm just going to pick up 3, the shank, 3 more, and my thread's misbehaving. Okay, so 3 and 3 more. 3, the button, 3. And now, see how I'm coming out in this direction, like this? Just going to come back around and go through that last 11. Pull to make a cute little loop there. And then we're going to run around this thing. And I'm going to do this twice because this is a very delicate piece. But you want this to be very sturdy. So I'm going to run through this whole end twice. Just like that. All right, and then we're ready to add some knots, and I'll show you how to do that. So we're coming down, just continue straight down through those 3. I'm going to call them C, and then however you need to get to where we can hide a knot without showing any thread. So I'm just going to step out right here. Give it a really good pull, and this is where I'm actually going to pick up the thread space and pop in 2 solid, nice, strong knots. Just like that. I'm losing my thread there a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to weave down actually these, and I'm going to put a knot right here. So 2 knots. I always do 2. So 1 and 2, and then we're going to burn. We're done. I'm just weaving away from that knot, popping that needle off, and I'm going to burn as close as possible. There we go. Now on to the other end. We're just going to remove that stop bead. So slide it right off, attach a needle to it, and we're going to make a loop enough to encircle our button. And I am actually going to use a different color. I like this color a lot. It looks like the sun, like when the sun sets, that beautiful color. So I'm going to use that color. So I'm coming out of that tip right there, and that's right where I need to be. So I'm going to pick up enough beads now to encircle this button. And I'm going to eyeball it because I actually don't know the size. All right, I'm going to try 22. And just to test the fit, I'm going to go right back through just that 11 for the moment. And I can already see it's too small. So 22 is almost there. I'm going to do 24. That's just how I test it. So I'm going to back right back out of there, pick up 2 more beads, and then go down. This time I'm going to go down a couple of the A's and give it a good pull, and then really pull down, and let's just see how that fits. So much better. Perfect. All right, That's it. So you've made the loop. Now, this is not hard, but we need to reinforce this loop. So we need to find a way to creep back up and go around that loop. So I'm just going any way that I can without showing thread. And I'm going to sneak up through these two. And then right up and around through those beads. All the way up. Take your time because you know there's a lot of thread going on in there now at the end. And my hands are... I have to say I'm very hot. Let's just put it that way. I'm really, really, really hot out here. And I don't have my little gripper on me. Oh, good. So my hands are sweaty. All right. So up and around this loop, just because we don't want it going anywhere, and I want it a little bit straighter and prettier, so just reinforcing this entire loop. And then we'll go back down through those beads one more time. I hope it can handle it. Because I don't have pliers or anything out here. You know, I'm in the middle of, a move back and forth. So it's really difficult when I forget one of my tools. And even the simplest things, like a pair of pliers would help. Okay, so here we go. We went through that loop. I'm going to tuck 2 knots right here. It does not matter where, as long as you're hiding your thread as you go along. So through here, I'm going to jump up into this area. I'm going to throw 2 more knots in. And then I'm going to burn it off. And we're done. So like I said, if you don't like it with the 9, do it with a 7. It looks just as beautiful. I'm going to burn as close as possible there. And we are finished. I'm going to move this out of the way just so you can get a nice look. And we'll buckle it. And I'm sorry, told you my hands are slippery. And there you go. That is super pretty. Oh my goodness, I love that one so much. The colors are just everything. And then here's what it looks like done with the 7. So it's not that much of a difference, but I personally like it like a bigger showstopper piece, that's all. And I get to play around with more colors. So I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I absolutely recommend giving this a shot, even if you are one of those people who like everything uniform. And then in time, I told you, I promise I will work a stitch with you, this stitch actually, but we'll flatten it more in case you're one of those who do like everything extremely straight and not crazy like this, but I like it. It's wild, it's fun, it's really unique. So thanks again for watching, and thank you for supporting me and subscribing to my channel. I truly appreciate it so very much. All my amazing friends that I have met along the way are just, I can't say enough good things about you guys, for the many, many laughs and how real you guys are. It's just incredible. I'm having the greatest time ever. So thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.